Hi, everybody. This is a Jeff Townsend media production. Rawr.
Have you been searching for a podcast? Do you want to learn from some great content creators? Well, you've come to the right place. Indie Podcaster with your host, Jeff Townsend, the Indie Podcast Father.
This is Jeff Townsend, and as you're aware, Indie Podcaster is currently on a break. I'm actually tied up with a job in the podcast industry and then a lot of other projects that I'm working on. But I want to continue to give you some content that you may find helpful along your podcasting journey. With that being said, I'm going to share some episodes of Good Morning Podcasters. Yes, that's right, the return of Good Morning Podcasters. Fuzz Martin and I purchased the rights to that, and podcasting sucks. So today, I'll be sharing some episodes of Fuzz Martin's Good Morning Podcasters with you. This is great information. You could learn a lot from it. To learn more, go to goodmorningpodcasters.com. Let's check out some of these episodes. I'm playing them back to back.
Good morning, podcasters. If you are in the U.S., well, then you know it's Black Friday. If you're not in the U.S., well, today is traditionally the day when retail stores have huge sales and, well, you may have actually seen the chaos of a U.S. Black Friday on your news stations. You know, people getting run over at Walmart to get a TV. In honor of the gluttony and pandemonium of the day, I've put together a podcaster holiday gift guide. It's mostly things that I like. However, you or the podcaster on your gift list might like them as well. I'm starting this list off with new mic arms. Cheap mic arms with cheap springs can introduce a whole bunch of noise to a podcaster's show. I have better ones in my home studio, but in order to save costs in my main studio, I cheaped out and I bought the $20 Amazon specials. Most of you probably can't hear it, but I can definitely hear some of the resonance coming back through the springs when I talk, and that is no fun. What would I get? Well, I would like to teeter the line between practical and premium. Some mic arms cost around $130 each, and when you have a 3-mic setup, that gets pretty costly. So I would recommend arms that have internal springs rather than the springs on the outside of the arm. The Rode PSA 1 is nice, but again, it runs around $99. I do really like the design of the X-Tech Valiant. That one runs about $90. The ones I have at home are Samson MBA 28s, which are nice. Those run about $32 on Amazon. They do have internal springs, so they're a lot less noisy, though the build quality isn't quite as nice as the Rode or the Gatorworks. So a new set of mic arms would be a really nice gift. Now, next up on my list is the Focusrite Vocaster 1. I have a small collection of audio interfaces. Some might call it a large collection of audio interfaces. Particularly, my wife might say that. The episode you're currently listening to is coming through on a Rodecaster Pro 2. That retails for about $700. I also have a Rodecaster Pro, the OG model, which you can now get for about $429, which is actually a great deal. In my mobile recording kit, I have a Zoom PodTrack P4. That's about $199. It's really feature-rich for the size and price and extremely mobile. And I also have a Focusrite 2i2. That was my first mobile setup, and it was really nice quality. And while I can tell you that I do not need another audio interface, I would really like to try a Focusrite Vocaster 1. I was always impressed with the 2i2 sound and performance, and the new Vocaster 1 has had great reviews. It's really compact, and it has 70 decibels of clean gain, so you can use it with an Electro Voice RE20 or a Shure SM7B. Plus, it has a whole bunch of other really good features, so check out the Focusrite Vocaster 1. Third on my podcaster gift-giving list would be a pair of Sony MDX7506 headphones. These Sony headphones are my go-to, though I have to say buying headphones for someone's kind of like buying them a pair of jeans. The fit and feel is personal to everyone, so unless they told you exactly what they want, you might want to avoid buying them a pair of headphones. But if they said, hey, I'd like a new pair of headphones and didn't give you a specific model, check out the Sony MDX7506. Here's why I like them. They're comfortable. They sound clear. They cost about $99, and even though they cost $99, they sound and feel much better than most of the $200+ headphones that I've used in my career. Plus, they're durable. I've only had 2 pairs, and I wear them every single day. I've only had 2 pairs since the year 2000. And back then, the model was the Sony MDR-V6. But same thing. They're really good. Sony MDX7506. Fourth on my list, the Prime Acoustic London 8 sound panels. If your room doesn't sound good, you won't sound good. Treating a room properly will, in a lot of cases, make your audio sound better than any fancy, expensive microphone that you might buy. The Prime Acoustic London 8 comes with 4 36 by 12 sound panels and 8 12 by 12 scatter blocks, as they call them. This will help reduce resonance in your favorite podcaster studio and make them sound like a pro, or at least more pro-ish. Package will set you back about $375 before shipping, but it is more thoughtful than buying somebody a nicer microphone. A well-treated room can make a bad microphone sound much better. And finally, if you're not sure what to get the podcaster in your life, a Sweetwater gift card will do the trick. Sweetwater is my go-to for buying any gear. This is not an ad. I just really like their customer service. Shout out to my rep, Alex Rodriguez. Our engineers used to buy from Sweetwater all the time when I was in radio, and now when I started buying my own gear, I rely on them as well. Plus, they give you a little bag of candy with every purchase. That's pretty sweet. They're based in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Shipping is super fast, and again, you're not going to find better customer service, so a gift card from Sweetwater would make a great gift. All right, you looking to go a little cheaper? Here are some stocking stuffer ideas for podcasters. One, a nice headphone hanger. What's a good set of headphones if they're just sitting on your desk, getting in the way? A headphone hanger will set you back somewhere between $8 and $20, and you can get anything from a clamp on that'll go right onto the desk, or ones that stick with 3M adhesive, or some more permanent solutions that are bolt-on. Sticking around the desk area, if you're looking for more stocking stuffers, you got to keep your cables clean. Messy flow, messy show. That's what I always say.
I've never actually said that until now.
The Velcro brand cable ties are nice, but I prefer some of the others that are available. There is a brand called Hosa. There are also a number that are private labeled by your favorite podcast gear brands like Rode or Shure, and those are pretty cool as well. Those will run you about $8 to $15. And final stocking stuffer, if you're looking to help your podcaster's room sound better but don't want to spend $375 on a room treatment kit, some acoustic foam bass traps will help a lot. What is a bass trap? Well, bass collects in the corners of rooms when you're recording and then bounces back and gives you this really muddy, muffled sound. By diffusing, absorbing, and scattering the bass in the corner, bass traps help clean up the room significantly. You can find some starter quality bass traps online for about $15 to $20 for a package of 8. And again, while they're not going to be the best sounding bass traps, they will show your podcaster that you were truly thinking of them this holiday season. So that's what I'm looking for this Christmas. But above all else, all I want for Christmas is you to subscribe to the show and give Good Morning Podcasters a 5-star review. Thanks for listening. You can find links in this guide at goodmorningpod.com, and I'll join you again on Monday right here on Good Morning Podcasters. Good morning, podcasters. Let's grab a cup of coffee and explore some advertising predictions from the Internet Advertising Bureau. Hi, my name is Fuzz Martin, and this is the all-new Good Morning Podcasters podcast. I hope you had a great weekend. Before we get too far, I want to tell you about the Good Morning Inbox newsletter. Every Monday, I send you some actionable ideas that will help you grow your podcast. They're things that you can put into practice right away. This week, though, we're exploring the legal difference between sweepstakes, contests, and dreaded illegal lotteries. Anyone who signs up for Good Morning Inbox before January 3rd, 2023 will have a lifetime free subscription. Anyone who signs up after that will be charged a nominal subscription fee. So tell your podcasting friends, and you yourself get signed up today. How do you get signed up? Well, there's a link in the bio, or you can go to gmp.fm/news. That's gmp.fm/news. One other show note for you. The new Good Morning Podcasters podcast explores marketing, advertising, social media, and public relations as they relate to podcasting. So each week, I'm going to try to give you at least one story on each of those topics, plus an extra on general podcasting news. All right, so let's start off the week with advertising. Earlier this month, the IAB, again, that's the Internet Advertising Bureau, released some of their predictions for online advertising in 2023. Here are some of their findings. The IAB expects that advertising in 2023 will be up as a whole over 2022 by 5.9%, so almost 6% increase over last year. However, the change in year over year has gone down a bit. From 2021 to 2022, it was a 9% jump. They're expecting a 6% jump this year. The biggest opportunities are in the B2B, travel, and restaurant/beer, liquor, wine categories for 2023. The biggest drops in advertising spend will be in auto. That's the one that dropped like a rock. That wasn't a Chevy pun. The biggest channels that the IAB expects growth in are connected TV. So that would be like Hulu, ESPN Plus, etc. Paid search, so Google or Bing, those are really the two. And then podcasts are number 3 with an expected 8.1% growth in 2023. Despite that expectation of growth, podcasts are likely to remain flat in the share of ad spend by channel. They're predicted to go from 3.8% actually down to 3.7%. In other words, in 2022, $3.80 of every $100 was spent on podcast ads. In 2023, it's expected to be $3.70 out of every $100, but there will be more of those hundreds of dollars that will be spent, so the revenue will increase, and they're guessing by 8.1%. And while 2 slices of that pie increased, a number of them dropped significantly, particularly digital display ads, social media ads, traditional media, including radio, and digital audio not related to podcasts. Think like ads on Pandora in between songs. The article, which was really a presentation, also went on to explore how metaverse advertising was going to increase in 2023, 28.4% year over year growth for metaverse advertising. They also expect an increase in retail media networks, which are called RMNs. Those are the ads you see on places like Amazon.com, Target.com, Walmart's website, Home Depot's website, etc. All right, so how do you use all of this information? Well, if you were thinking about going and asking a car dealer or manufacturer for a sponsorship, their ad funds might be a little tighter this year. Depending on your show, though, you may consider reaching out to B2B advertisers, especially recruitment agencies. You could also look into asking travel agencies and restaurants and travel bureaus and brands of, your favorite beer or liquor or wine for those all to go up. I'm expecting Dave at the Beer in Front podcast to have a good year. It's also a good sign that spending on podcast advertising is expected to increase, though I'm sure a lot of this will be through programmatic ads. Those are those pre-produced commercials that sound like radio commercials that air on certain podcast hosts' networks. As they say, however, a rising tide raises all ships. So get your sponsorship deck together and start soliciting advertisers. Get in while the getting's good. That will do it for this, the 14th episode of the all-new Good Morning Podcasters. You can find links to the article and everything we talked about on GMP at goodmorningpod.com. Join us tomorrow as we talk about some new tools from Gmail and why you shouldn't use them. And again, be sure to go to gmp.fm/news and sign up for Good Morning Inbox, where this week we talk about sweepstakes, contests, and the dreaded illegal lotteries. Again, that's gmp.fm/news. Thanks again for listening, and we will talk to you again tomorrow morning right here on Good Morning Podcasters. Good morning, you beautiful podcasters. Gmail recently released some new features, and I think you shouldn't use them. Let's discuss why. Thanks for tuning in to Good Morning Podcasters. My name is Fuzz Martin. If you haven't already subscribed to the additional Good Morning Inbox newsletter, I suggest you give it a shot. Why? Because it's currently free. I put a lot of work into it. This week's newsletter article is about running promotions for your podcast and why you should avoid accidentally creating an illegal lottery, which is a lot easier to do than you think. You can sign up for free at gmp.fm/news. That's GMP, as in Good Morning Podcasters, gmp.fm/news. If you're a user of Google's Workspace products, there are two relatively new features that are available to help you make email marketing great. To be honest, the features came out in July, but not many people are talking about them, and I'm guessing not many people are using them. But if they pop up on your Gmail Compose email window and you're curious as to what they are or how to use them, I thought I might shed a little light and then quickly turn the light off because I don't think you should be using them. The first feature is Gmail's new Layouts feature. It's called branded emails in their help docs, but they call it Layouts when you hover over the icon in your Compose a New Email window. They also call it Layouts in their announcement, but again, they don't call it Layouts in their help docs because Google. If you search Layouts in the Google Workspace help docs, you'll get information on changing your email inbox layout, which is totally not what this is. Layouts is a way of, in theory, creating nicely designed HTML emails within Gmail itself. If you've ever created an email in a builder like MailChimp or Constant Contact, this is a similar setup. Again, this only works if you have certain Google Workspace editions. When you're creating a new email, you'll see a little set of rectangles down on the bottom right-hand side of your email composer. If you click on that, it will bring up a window that presents you with 12 different pre-formatted layouts. Those layouts are called Call to Action, Simple Text, Announcement, Newsletter, New Service, and Referral. So that's 6. Then they also give you a reversed out version of each of those that features a colored background, different styling on the buttons, and images. But they're pretty similar. Once you click on the one you want, it loads right up into your email window. Then you, in theory, go through and edit each of the sections. That is, however, the hard part. This is not a drag and drop editor. It just pastes in the layout into your Compose window. You're limited to fill out the template exactly as it's displayed in the email. Yes, you can remove some sections, replace images, and things like that, but you can't change any of the buttons. You can't change the width of the fields. It's really, really limited. And actually, it's not user-friendly, and it's pretty frustrating. For instance, it loads up a logo based on your settings in your Google Workspace account. However, it doesn't give you the option to resize that logo. You can remove it and replace it, but it becomes difficult. It's a real pain. In fact, it's easier to just put an image into a regular Gmail email and then click and drag that as you need to. In addition to all that, the designs all look very dated. I appreciate that they tried. Nice efforts. But you're much better off using something like MailChimp or Constant Contact instead of the Gmail Layouts feature if you want to create a nicely designed email. Which now brings me to their other feature, which is called Gmail Multi-Send Mode. So like Layouts or branded emails, Multi-Send Mode is located on the Compose email window down in the bottom right-hand corner. It looks like a bunch of little envelopes stacked on top of each other. This mode is, again, much like sending with MailChimp or Constant Contact, but with more steps. Again, you have to have a Gmail Workspace individual or higher account in order to use this feature. When you send using multi-send mode, every person on your email list gets a separate email with an unsubscribe link. This also allows you to send bulk emails to your list. You just paste in your email list into the to field, or you can set it up through Google Contacts to create a list in there that you can send to. And then you don't have to worry about using BCC. By the way, total side note, it allows you to delete the unsubscribe link, which I think is the only real feature of this program. and it'll bark at you and tell you that you shouldn't delete the unsubscribe link, but you can delete it and send it. After you've composed your email, which you can also compose using layouts, you click send, and then it will ask you if you want to send yourself a preview, which you always should send yourself a preview and just check everything over. Then you can launch it out to the world. While this all sounds good in theory, I worry about what happens if you send an email that perhaps your audience decides is a little too spammy, or if you're collecting emails from a forum on your website and you get some misspelled emails or some known spam emails, that will bring down your sender score. Most third-party platforms like MailChimp, like Constant Contact, Aweber, those kind of things, they try to protect you from creating spam because they don't want it affecting their service and their servers. Will Google afford you that same luxury? Will they help protect you from them? Or will it end up tanking your domain and your ability to even send emails to Nana about recipes? What also doesn't fly with me is that you can't use multi-send to schedule emails. You can schedule intimate one-on-one emails to your colleagues, but you can't schedule marketing emails through Google's multi-send mode. This just blows my mind. There are also no mail merge fields or personalization items in the multi-send, so you'll have to start out each email with something like, "Hey guys," or "Hey, what's up, GMP fans?" You know, something super personal like that. "Hello, comma." What else? There's no way to see any analytics on who has or has not opened, unsubscribed, etc. Clicked a link. You can't see any of that. You have no way of getting people to subscribe to that email list from anywhere, so you have to import them from somewhere else. It's just an all-around bad idea. BCC has more features, since you could actually, schedule send a BCC email. Oh, and also with multi-send mode, you're limited to 1,500 contacts. So, multi-send gets a no from me, dog, just like layouts. And layouts and multi-send are two Gmail features that I think are definitely well-intentioned. But in practice, they're pretty much useless. And of course, that's if you can even find them. On 3 of my 5 paid Gmail workspace accounts, these features aren't even available, and I can't turn them on in the admin console. So there's that too. Well, thanks for listening to Good Morning Podcasters. I do appreciate you spending a few minutes with me each morning. Please subscribe to the show. You can find all the links at gmp.fm and all the show information at goodmorningpod.com. Okay, go to goodmorningpod.com. Tomorrow we'll explore a program called Help a Reporter Out and how that could help you get more press coverage for your podcast. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning right here on Good Morning Podcasters. Oh, good morning, podcasters. This morning, I'm going to help a podcaster out by talking about a tool called Help a Reporter Out. Hey, hope you're having a great Wednesday. It is the 16th episode of Good Morning Podcasters for this Wednesday, November 30th. Today, we're talking about a tool called HARO. That is hay as in hay and row as in row your boat. HARO is a tool that connects journalists who are writing articles with sources that they can use while writing those articles. It was founded by Peter Schenkman as a Facebook group back in 2008. Then it got bought out by Vocus, which is PR software. And then Vocus got bought out by Cision, which is PR software. And we've actually discussed that in a previous episode. So how does HARO work? Well, let's say a journalist is assigned an article and they need an expert, but don't have a source, or they want a different source. Well, they can post on HARO and then sort through all the pitches they receive. Each day, HARO sends out 3 emails 3 times a day to all of their free subscribers, and you can sort through all those emails and all of the different listings available and see if there's one that fits your niche. Here's a for instance. I'm looking at HARO right now, and I see an opportunity in an online publication called Bustle, which is geared toward women, for a fitness expert. Here's the listing from the journalist on HARO. I'm looking for an explainer on how to do certain exercises on an exercise bench. Looking for how to do the exercise on a bench step by step, how many reps and sets to do, and the benefits of the exercise / which muscles it works. If you're a trainer, please see my questions below. And then it lists out 7 different exercises that whoever is pitching the journalist should speak to. So let's say you're a fitness expert and you have a fitness podcast. You can reply to this listing with your pitch and say, hey, I'm a fitness expert. Here's my response to each of these 7 things and how I would do those. And here's my name, my credentials, and you're out. That journalist could choose to use yours. They could choose to use somebody else that pitched them, or they could choose somebody completely off Haro. But that opportunity is there, and it wouldn't have been for you without Haro. It's real easy to get signed up. Go to helpareporter.com to get signed up for it. It's free. They do have some premium versions, which I'll talk about coming up in a little bit. But it is free, and you do get 3 emails every day for the rest of your life. So here are some things to note when you are using Haro to pitch journalists. Number 1, and most importantly, only respond to pitches that are in your area of expertise. If they find out that you're pitching things that aren't your area of expertise and you're spamming these journalists, they will boot you from the service. Number 2, if you see a listing that matches your area of expertise, respond immediately. Drop what you're doing and respond, because they get hundreds of these and usually they'll sort through them right away. And when they find the source they want, they'll close that off or they won't read anymore. So when you see it come through, be hungry. Number 3, and I'm going to take this directly from Haro's rules for sources. You're supposed to reply with complete, relevant answers to their questions and include a short bio and your contact information. Number 4, don't attach anything to your pitch. Their system automatically strips out anything. Your headshot, PDF, an image, whatever that is, it will strip it right out of the email. So don't bother attaching anything to your pitch. Number 5, it's super competitive, so your pitch has to be really tight. And speaking of that, number 6, you should only pitch in 300 words or less. It might cut you off. I don't remember if it cuts you off or not, but 300 words is the max that they want you to pitch with. Next, anonymous posts are typically from larger publications. So if you see one that says anonymous, it's typically from a really big publication, and they just want to keep their story locked down before they publish it so that people don't steal their stuff. If you're going to reply, let's say somebody forwarded you an email from Haro and said, hey, this one might work for you. You have to be signed up in order to pitch a journalist. So even if it's a free account, you need to be signed up through Haro. Otherwise, that email will just reject you. Number 9, don't pitch your podcast. Pitch your expertise. Your podcast can be in your bio information, but do not spam your show. Show them your expertise. And number 10, you might get into an article right from your pitch. That's great. And the journalist might also not tell you that they used your stuff. Not as great. So make sure you know which journalists and publications you pitched to, and then look at the deadline and search that publication a week or so from then and see if you got picked up or not. If you don't get into an article, do not contact them and ask why you didn't get in. Just read what they wrote and use their style and information to improve your pitch for the next time. Again, don't reach out to them and say, hey, why didn't you take my info? That's bad form. Again, you can sign up for Haro free at helpareporter.com. I'll link in the show notes. Just a reminder, one more time, this is an email that comes out 3 times a day, and it will get overwhelming, but it's really all or nothing. So you might want to use a separate email address for Haro, or keep a folder and set some rules in your email inbox so Haro emails and responses go right into that folder and skip your notifications. Otherwise, you will be swimming. They do have a subscription that gives you the ability to filter 1 keyword for $19 a month, 3 keywords for $49 a month, or unlimited keywords for $149 per month. There are also some other features with those more premium versions. But you know what you could do? You could just do a little Command or Control F on your keyboard and do that filtering yourself. So there you go. Haro, Help a Reporter out. It's available at helpareporter.com. I hope that helped you out with some public relations tips for your podcast. You can help me out by subscribing to Good Morning Podcasters. If you're listening for the first time, please be sure to subscribe and or hit the little plus button in your pod player. Full articles are available at goodmorningpod.com. Tomorrow, I'll share some thoughts and experiences on hyper-local podcasting. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow morning, right here on Good Morning Podcasters.
Thanks for listening, and thanks for telling a friend. But more importantly, thank you for supporting independent content creators. If you're enjoying the podcast or like the work we're doing in the indie podcaster community, I ask you to tell just one fellow content creator that hasn't heard of this podcast or the work we're doing and share it with them. But more importantly, I hope you continue with me on this journey as the indie podcaster. Keep being you. Keep being great. And the question is, do I stay here? Will you be back? Are you gonna come back? Will you be back? Are you coming back?
Jeff Townsend Media.